Test, test, test. I think we're live. Welcome in, guys, to SideQuest Comics. This is Eric here, and it looks a little bit different tonight, don't it? So that is because we are doing something new. This is a setup test night for the new laptop. So I figured, why don't I change the scenery a little bit since I'm doing this? I am actually in the nerd cave in the basement. As you can see around me, I got racks of comics around me. I got, more over there. There's the press over there and some more over there. And actually the computer right now is sitting on a stack of comics. So yes, this is a test night. I figured I'd do a live stream for tonight's theme, which is kind of a cool theme. Let me know if you guys can hear me okay. I don't have my mic in. I am using the straight camera off the laptop. Hopefully it's okay. I'm watching the little Wi-Fi connection that keeps bouncing around because I am in the basement. I'm in a cave, I guess that's why, but I have it hardwired, which I don't understand technology. But yeah, tonight is a kind of different night. We're doing top 10 movie comic covers in the collection. So I was inspired by my buddy, Nate, over at Halls. Yeah, he did a comic challenge that is part of Alan, Collector Geek. I have links for all those guys down below. And you know what? I thought about it. I'm like, I never do these challenges. So I wanted to do something a little bit different and try it. I sure have enough movie comic adaptations and stuff. But before we get into that, you guys, if you could hit that like button, subscribe, comment. Look at that. New computer, new doodads. I did not know it was going to do that. And let me know, after the show or down below, what was your favorite movie comic? I appreciate that. And also, if you could head over to Instagram, check me out over there. Give me a follow, see some of the posts. I still have to do today's Mutant Monday post, so you could get to see that first. But that is it. And let's jump over to the chat too before we jump into what I got. Everybody is in here. I got to scroll up. This is weird not doing this with a mouse too, guys. So we got first. Yes, you're finally first. Oh yeah, Nate is first. I wish I had my little bell so I could give you a dinger. Coach is in here. Welcome in, Coach. Saying hi to everybody. K Munan's in here. Good evening to everybody. Let's see who else we got here. We got Brian LCS. What's up, Brian? Hey. Welcome in. Thank you for joining me. And my other FOMO squad member, Dope Comics, saying what's up. Let's see. People saying hello to everybody. We got, I think I got everybody. I'm trying to, I don't want to scroll too fast. Yep, I am caught up. Yes, I had some special effects, Nate. I had no clue that was going to do that. So, but yeah, this was kind of a test because I got this laptop actually for a while. It took me forever to start to set it up. But I had to do some updating with StreamYard to make sure that everything was working on here because I got a laptop because I want to be mobile. So this weekend we're all a bunch of us are going to Heroes Con in Charlotte. So I wanted to be mobile. I wanted to be able to do some live streaming and stuff like that. And just have fun with it. It's something that I was 5 years overdue. I mean, my computer, I was getting to the point that I couldn't keep it going, guys. So my wife talked me into splurging and actually having some fun with stuff. You know what? I want to turn this on because it's a new feature they have on here on StreamYard. Who knows what it's going to be? But yeah, so tonight, like I said, it's a comic challenge, a cover. I always see Alan do these, and I'm kind of always interested in them. Time, right? It's hard to do them. And I know a lot of guys say, just do them whenever type of thing. I know Matt likes comics. He said, just do them whenever. And you know what? The rules are there, but they're guidelines. You can break them, right? I'm a big Dinger fan, always have been. There you go. So some of this, and I'm blaming Nate. Nate, you didn't follow the rules, so I'm like, heck with it. He ain't doing it. I'm not going to follow it. And it's supposed to be 10. And you guys know me. I can't just keep it to 10. I have to have a big stack. So I actually have, let me see, 1, 2. I think I only went over like 3. Maybe 4. I don't know what it's about 4. So whatever. Let's just have fun with it, right, guys? So if you guys are interested in doing this kind of a challenge, movie comic covers, basically these are going to be comics that either were inspired by movies, or kind of movies that inspired a series, that type of thing. Or maybe it was a comic first and they made it into a movie. I know that's happened a couple times, like with Hellboy. That was a comic, right? First, before it was a movie. What else was out there? And there's a couple other ones. I can't think of them off the top of my head. But oh, look at this. The wife's ratting me out here saying, I never follow the rules. I have fun. That's what it is. I'm having fun. No, come on, Dope. You can't turn off at 10 because I think I'm not going to tell you what 10 is, because the last couple I saved my favorite to the end. So there. I mean, I could have gone 20. I could have probably done 30, really, because I have a lot of them. Some of them I just couldn't find. Like I have an old graphic novel, Return of the Jedi. I don't know where it is. It's somewhere in this stuff. So I picked a couple that I knew right where they were right away. So let's jump into it, because I don't want to make this a super long video. I was kind of maybe shooting for 30 minutes. We'll see. This is one of those, life got in the way of me editing anything. And like I said, with setting up computer, sometimes it's just easier to just jump on here and press the live button and go. And it is a lot of fun. So, all right, I am going to start right off the start here at the top. And this one, I don't know if I'm going to call this. I'm going to call this 13, number 13, honorable mention type of thing. And this was a movie growing up that I absolutely love. I still like watching these. And it's this one. Nate, you showed, I think it was Adventures of Planet of the Apes. So this one is actually by, it's the magazine format. This is Planet of the Apes. And I picked this one. This is number 7, came out in 1975. What I like about this one is it's basically, this is the very first episode, the big reveal when Charlton Heston's on the beach and he sees the Statue of Liberty half buried in the sand in the shore, the ocean shore. And that's the point where he realizes that he's actually not on another planet. He's on Earth, but it's in the future and there's some kind of disaster type of thing. So yeah, that was the big reveal. So I really like this cover. And this series is kind of cool because it's not just comics in there. It's got some interviews from actors from the movie, like Roddy McDowall and some of the other actors. And it's kind of got behind the scenes stuff. So it's more like a fan magazine. So this is my first pick for movie comic covers, is Planet of the Apes, number 7. Like I said, what I paid like $10 for this. This is Curtis publication, so it's one of the magazine ones. Hard to come by. I don't see them too much, but all of a sudden I'm starting to see them, but it's kind of beat up. I have about half this series. It's like 29 issues, so I got ways to go. Let's see. Let's check in on. There may be a couple of Planet. Oh boy, yeah, that's one of the things, Nate. That Dope inspired me, because he always shows off those horror magazines, is I want to look for the old 70s magazines that got around that comics code. I think it's a lot of fun and it's really cool. All right, so the next one here is it's a movie adaptation of Red Sonja. So this was a 2-issue limited series. You can see that's definitely looks like Arnold there, right? And we got Brigitte Nielsen. And this was actually written by Louise Simonson, which is kind of cool. But this came out in 1985. So it came out in the time that the movie came out. I think 85 was kind of the time that the sword and sorcery movies were starting to kind of trail off. And we were starting to, especially with Arnold, we were starting to get into more of the straight up action hero type of movies. So this was, I always liked this movie along the Conan movies. I don't know, it's that styling of it. And it's weird is that Arnold's in it, but he's not playing Conan. He's playing Cull, I think it is what his name was. So they kind of were loosey-goosey with the stories. The only thing that was really pretty straightforward was Red Sonja. I mean, that's how she was in the comics back in the 80s. So this was my next one. This would be what, number 12, 13? I'd say I already lost count and I've only shown two. Let's see. So next up, we have another technically called movie special. Can't have Red Sonja without Conan. So this is Conan the Barbarian movie special. So this is number one. They did do these for both the movies, this one and Destroyer. This, and they're both 2-issue series. Now this one was the first movie, what was kind of like the origin of Conan. Came out in 1982. And the art on this is one of my favorites, is John Buscema. So I do like this cover. I do have different versions of this. Marvel did like a graphic novel of both Conan movies and Red Sonja in that larger format. I got both of those. So it's a little bit more than what's in this comic, and it's got a little bit more risque stuff in it. So yeah, I couldn't have Red Sonja without Conan. This is one of those books too that when I see it, I can't help it, but I pick them up because it's very nostalgia for me. I love these sword and sorcery movies from the early 80s. My dad loved them. I think that's why, because he liked watching them. We grew up watching them with him. They were just good fun. So Conan number one, movie special. I should probably just count up, I think, on these ones. Yeah, it is a great cover, Nate. All right, next up, Nate, this one's for you. And okay, so I think I'm kind of breaking the rules here because it's not a comic art cover, but this is Superman number 3. This is the official movie adaptation of Superman 3. So it's a really cool photo cover of Christopher Reeve. That's kind of why I got it. The movie, nah, not so much. This is the one that's got Richard Pryor that makes a fake kryptonite. And, it's just, yeah, it gets a little weird in this one. But like I said, awesome cover. That's why I picked it up. It was a cover buy. I mean, and I do like reading these comic versions of the movie because it's fun to kind of compare and contrast how similar they are, how different they are. This one, they cut a lot out on this one. They left the goofiness and ridiculousness in this one. So yeah, that's the next one is Superman. This one came out 1983 too, by the way. And it's just a one shot. That's all there was. It was just a one. Let's check out the chat. Nate is very chatty tonight. So yes, your family just watched the movie. It's so bad, but we had a lot of fun watching it. That's the kind of the thing about them, right? They're a lot of fun. Yeah, you need to look for this one. Or maybe I'll just give you that one. I don't know. So that was that one. What are we up here? We got 4 so far. So this next one is one that's very, not just nostalgic. It's a movie that really kind of set me on a path of what my interests were going to be for the rest of my life type of thing. I mean, I'm still a huge fan of this particular movie. And this one is the Star Wars number 1. Now, this is not the original. Easy now. This is actually a Whitman reprint that came out in 1970. When did this come out? 77. So it came out when the movie came out and the series and stuff. But this is number 1 reprint, and it's written by Roy Thomas. But look at that cool cover. I mean, if you want a cheaper way to get number 1 of the Star Wars Marvel series, the Whitman reprint. I know this has been reprinted a couple of times. I think actually just the last couple of years, Marvel reprinted it again. So it's out there. You can find cheaper versions if you don't want to spend what the actual number 1 first print cost. So yeah, this was a movie that just, I was fairly young when this came out, but in the 80s, like when Return came out, holy cow, I was all over Star Wars then, because at that time, every time like Empire came out, they re-released the first one. Return of the Jedi came out, they released the first 2. So they had like this rotation. George Lucas had this rotation of the movies that before the new one came out, all the other ones previous came out. So they made it was a big thing to go to the movies back then. So yeah, this was my next one, number 1, Star Wars. Very cool cover. Look at Darth Vader too. There, he looks pretty cool with his eyes. But yeah, pretty cool cover. Star Wars number 1. Okay, now next up, this is a guilty pleasure because I just found a channel on Roku that streams this sometimes. Every couple days, they just do have it in a loop. But this was a movie miniseries, so I'm cheating again a little bit. This isn't an actual theater movie. This was a TV miniseries movie that came out in 1985. Um, and I think part of the draw was I like the main actor Mark Singer, who was in Beastmaster. He was in this one. This is V. So this is number one by DC Comics. This was based on the miniseries. So right there, you can see Mark Singer right there. Doesn't really like him. I think Michael Ironside was in the series. Robert Englund is one of his first early acting jobs was in V. He was playing one of the visitors that kind of not a traitor, but he sided with the humans. You know, he didn't want to just round them up and use them for food. But yeah, this was a series that I was like, it was one of those early sci-fi series that just I was like, wow, this is really neat, and it had kind of like that undertone story of Nazi occupation and what they did to the Jewish population and stuff like that. So it has kind of those undertones of that. Now it was two different miniseries on, I believe it was NBC, and then they made a very short-lived, I think it was only 2-season TV series too. And I absolutely love them. I know they tried bringing it back in probably like 15 years ago. I think they tried bringing it back an updated version, but it only lasted 2 seasons. It was special effects wise, it was really cool for the new one, but it just didn't take like the original. The original was pretty shocking, where they looked human, but if you rip their skin off, you see that they were lizards underneath. So yeah, the miniseries, this comic was based on a miniseries. Number one, was a very short-lived comic series. It was only 18 issues. I think I have about half of them. Well, usually when I find them, they're in the bargain bin. So worth checking out if you really like the TV series. Yeah, dope. That I think that was the thing too. Is it? You're right. The visitors scared the crap out. I still remember seeing it was the main villainess. She was in her laboratory and they had guinea pigs there, and she grabbed one and they show her from the side start eating this guinea pig, and like a lizard does, her throat just expanded so she could swallow it. I was just like, oh my god, for a kid to see that on public television, holy cow. All right, so we're gonna move into horror movies now a little bit. So this is probably one of my all-time favorite horror movies, and this Night of the Living Dead. Now this is a square bound. There's been a lot of spin-offs, comics of Night of the Living Dead or Day of the Dead, and they changed the little name a little bit, but this is Night of the Living Dead. It's square bound. There's only 4 issues of this, and this came out in 1991. But look at that cover. It's a painted cover, very cool. I have a number 0 preview of this series too. But yeah, try to find the 1991. Like I said, it's a square bound, so it's a thicky one. Artwork's really cool in it like this. Some of those independent comics that have the license to these, the stories are kind of rehashed to the same old type of thing. But if you go way back then, they're a little bit different, a little bit more original. So very cool one. Like I said, it's my favorite zombie movie of all time. If it's got zombies on it, it's one of those things on a comic, I'm going to buy it just to see what it is, see what they're doing, trying to do different in the story. So, but you can't beat the original. Okay, so we're 7 in, guys. Let me see. I'm going to say hi to Derek, who I just saw jumped in. What's up? What's up? Thanks for jumping in. Hopefully I am not losing any kind of connection or freezing up on you guys, because I do see my little thing. I'm in the basement, guys. What can I say? I'm in a cave. But yeah, so we are about halfway, I think. Let me see here. We got 1, 2. Yep, we're halfway. So I'll pick it up a little bit because, like I said, I wanted to try and keep this about 30 minutes for you guys. So my next one here, this is number 8. And this movie came out when I was about, I think I was in high school. And I absolutely love this movie. I saw it so many times in the theater, made me laugh so hard. And a lot of it is because of the actor that plays the character of the Grim Reaper in this. So what am I talking about? I am talking about a most excellent movie adaptation of Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey #1. This was just a one shot. I absolutely love this one. It came out in 1991. But yeah, I really liked the Grim Reaper in this. And, you got Keanu Reeves and stuff in there. But this movie, I just loved that they went to hell. They got killed. They went to hell and they tricked the Grim Reaper into playing board games with them. And they beat him all the time. It was Twister. It was Battleship. I think they played Sorry. And they kept beating him. So he basically became their, not slave, but he was just like, okay, I have to listen to you guys. Hilarious movie. I love all the little references in here. I think there's one scene where they show the big rock from Star Trek, which was kind of funny. If you're a Star Trek fan, with the rock where Kurt's fighting the lizard guy. But yeah, I absolutely love this movie. I have yet to see the newest one that they did. They reunited, but they're old and stuff like that. I don't know if I want to see it because it's one of those. I don't want it to ruin my nostalgic memory and feelings of the original too. Because that was a prime period of my age where I was just like I started branching out in my own opinions of what's funny and what's cool and all that stuff. So yeah, very cool. I do have some of the regular ones, but yeah, this one was a top one for me. Let's see. I see Christina Payne jumped in. Welcome in, Christina. Yeah, Nate, death was great in that sequel. That was my favorite part. I'm trying to think of the actor's name. I'm blanking. I know he was in Demon Knight. He was a pretty big actor in the 90s, and I haven't seen him in a long time in anything. But yeah, Bill and Ted's. I'm glad you guys like that pick. All right, so let's go on to my next one. Now, here's another one that's kind of a guilty pleasure, like that Bill and Ted one. And when I found this, I bought all of these that the guy had. I bought a couple for myself, and then I went back and I bought everything else that he had for this comic to give to all my buddies. So this is Van Damme Cyborg. So the star of Bloodsport in this sci-fi thriller by Cannon. So if you guys don't remember Cannon, they did some pretty low budget movies in the late 80s, 90s. And this one, so this is an interesting comic. So it came out in 1989. And it actually was produced by the Canon, what is it officially? Canon Video. And what it was a way to promote this movie coming to video. So they would send these to all the video stores. I think this may have been before even Blockbuster was around, but they send it to the video stores as a promotion piece for the videotape when it was coming out. So I don't see too many of these, but this one, oh boy, it's about as good as the movie was. Let me put it that way. But when we were a kid in 1989, we thought this was the coolest thing. This guy in the future kickboxing everybody. So yeah, I see even Dope saying it's one of his favorite movies of his. Yeah, most of his movies kind of started to be the same thing. The other one that I really liked he did was one where he was twins, because they were completely different, characters. So, but anyway, yeah, the Van Damme movie in a comic. It looks just like him, right? So I couldn't resist it. So that's that pick. Let me get a sip and see what the chat has to say. Oh, thank you, Christina, for reminding everybody for that. And I appreciate that, Christina. Nate saying that Cyborg and Bloodsport are his only. It's basically a version of those two. You're right. You're really right. Double Impact. Thank you, Dope. That's probably my favorite one. That one and Hard Target. I do like the Hard Target one where he goes to New Orleans and they have those rich guys that are hunting all the hobos and stuff from New Orleans. And yeah, got Wilford Brimley in it, so it's got to be good, right? All right. So next up, man, I got all these guilty pleasures coming up. These are all at about the time that I was a young teenager. And this one, I wish I bought more than one copy of this, and it's Predator #1. This is volume 1 from Dark Horse Comics, and this came out in 1989. So this is actually the first appearance of the Predator alien in comics. So like I said, I wish I got more than one because I know these go for a pretty good penny. Ever since this came out, I was a fan of the comics. Marvel's got the rights to them now, so they've been putting out a lot. Like most recently, it's Spider-Man versus Predator, and it's been pretty good. It's written by Benjamin Percy, so it's got a lot of horror themes to it, which is kind of what the movie was. I mean, he was hunting humans for sport, so it's very cool. I had a hard. I almost wanted to pick. I have the movie adaptation of Predator #2. So this is actually based on the movie. So this came out after the movie. It's not a straight adaptation of it, but look at that art. Really cool art. I thought this was just so cool to see. And this is when I think Dark Horse Comics was really firing on all cylinders. So yeah, Predator #1 is that next pick. So Dope is saying Predator is top 5 movie ever. Wow, that's some high praise there, Dope. And then let's see, I missed this one from Nate. If you haven't seen JCVD where he plays himself, it's actually really good. I have watched that. I think I watched all of it. And it was good because it was kind of a comedy is what it was. He was like a secret agent in reality. So it was an interesting one for him for sure. Trying to reinvent his acting career. All right. So the next up here, we got this one was the one in my young teenage years that I absolutely love. And that is this one is Terminator. So this is based on the whole franchise. This is not adaptation by Now Comics, who had the rights to them at first. And this is one of the miniseries that they did. Terminator: The Burning Earth. This came out in 1990. And it's only a 5-issue series. But if you guys don't know, the big key here, this is a key book. This is the first Alex Ross artwork. So if you see this for a decent price, snag it up. This is his first published artwork. It's, I don't know if you can see you can see the realism painting that he does now. But yeah, I didn't know who he was back then in 1990. Shoot, I was still in high school. So I just thought it was a cool cover, and I like Terminator. He's a robot traveling time. I thought it was neat, and he was chasing after people. So yeah, very cool cover. If you guys see it, I don't know if you can see look at that thumbnail of him. You can see the machinery underneath him. That's kind of cool. Terminator. There's a couple series now did, and then Dark Horse I think got a hold of it, and they kind of went to town on it. So very cool. Here, I'm going to throw this link up that Christina just put up for Comics Curing Cancer. Gives me a chance to take a breath and take a little sippy sip from my my big nasty koozie here. It's not White Claw either, guys. That's for tomorrow. All right, we're getting down to it. I think I got 3 more picks left. So these were the extra ones that I'm getting down to my favorites here. This might be another one that scared some of us as kids. And this is let's see. This came out in 1983. So it's a 2-issue series by Jim Henson, The Dark Crystal. This is #1. Yeah, this movie, it's a fantasy movie, epic fantasy movie. And they tried doing a new miniseries on, I think it was it Netflix? Tried doing something, and I started watching it, but I kind of got bored of it. It just doesn't beat the original. I mean, these bad guys that looked like, are they the Beetle guys? Yeah, these are the Beetle guys. I always thought those were neat. It was really neat costumes for, because it was Muppets basically. And I thought the puppets were just phenomenal in design. But as a kid, it kind of was creepy. It was a little bit creepy, especially when those little potato head guys got their life essence drained out by those evil bird guys. That was creepy. They were like turned into zombies. So yeah, this one kind of creeped me out. So here's #1. And then I pulled it just so I can show it off. #2, where the main character, he's sitting on the Dark Crystal and he's getting ready to put that shard in there and turn it back to white. You can see there's one of the creepy bird guys. But yeah, very, very interesting movie. One of those ones from childhood that kind of still I watch it and it's not as creepy anymore, but it's just it's one of those movies you can still kind of take a little bit out of it. So this was a straight up movie adaptation of it. So you can if you didn't get enough from watching it back in the day, well, you can read it over and over and over again as a kid. Yeah, see, I'm not the only one. Freaked you out as a little kid, right? Especially when those potato head guys turned into little zombies. Yeah, there's another one that's similar to that, the Lamberth and Never Ending Story. I can't watch Never Ending Story. I'm sorry. My sister watched it like at least 4 or 5 times a day. She was 4. I couldn't do it anymore. Every time I hear that music, I twitch a little bit. Yeah. Oh, that's kind of cool. I wonder how much those went for. Shoo. All right. So this one is okay. We're going back to my love of sword and sorcery. And this is the Dragon Slayer movie. So these are movie adaptations from 1981. Look at that cover. Cool. I mean, this is straight up dragons, medieval wizards, and, princesses. And yeah, that's really cool. Adaptation of a spectacular Paramount Disney motion picture. Wow, this for a Disney movie, this was pretty scary, but straight up, it's a. I think they made video games for this too. So was it Atari? Maybe it was an arcade version. I don't know, but very interesting movie. I think this movie still holds up by today's standards. At that time, the special effects were top notch. So there's number one. And this was only a 2-issue series. So there's number 2. I think towards the end of the movie, the wizard gets on the mountain. He fights the dragon. I think the dragon just eviscerates him. But spoilers. It's from 1981. What do you expect? So yeah, Dragon Slayer 1 and 2. Like I said, I kind of have a love for these sword and sorceries, and I really like the movie adaptations of them because back then we couldn't just turn the TV on and watch the movie. I think HBO was coming out at about that time. So if you're lucky, you may have seen them on HBO. But nowadays it's so easy to watch these movies, like literally within 3 months, they're on there on streaming somewhere. So having a comic version of the movie was kind of cool. You could, like I said, you can read it over and over and over again. All right. So I am down to the last one, guys, and I am calling out Nate. Because Nate, when you did your movie cover challenge, I was shocked that this was not on your list anywhere. I don't know if you know what it is, but just wait. This is my number 1 pick. So overall, out of all these, whether it's Star Wars or Aliens or it's a horror movie like Friday the 13th or Freddy Krueger, stuff like this is probably my my number 1. And if I ever see these anywhere, I'm going to pick them up. I don't see them that much. That's the problem. So that's right, Nate. Yeah, I put in the thumbnail just so you would see it and you forgot to pull it, but it is one of our favorite movies and it is Cull, the Marvel movie special number 1. Look at that cover with the glaive. So Cull number 1 came out in 1983 based on the movie. This is the movie adaptation of it, starring like Liam Neeson was in this. I don't even think he's credited in it, but he's in it. Robbie Coltrane, the guy that played Hagrid in the Harry Potter movies. He was in this. There's a lot of British actors that were in this in the early 80s. And it has only 2 issues. So here's number 1. I will watch this movie all the time if it's on TV. Fortunately, I have it on DVD, so I can watch it all the time. And there's number 2. You get to see them, the king and the princess and, or queen, I should say, because they get married and they're fighting the demon from another world. So yeah, this what I think I like about this. It's not just fantasy, it's sci-fi. It has this sci-fi element to it. I mean, yeah, you have wizards and you have a cyclops but you have these demon aliens from outer space that come to the planet and they want to conquer it. So very cool. Love this movie. And Uh, you know what, Coach? I don't think I have any Buckaroo Banzai. I have to look at my CLZ app. I don't think I have any. I don't really see them ever, but you know what? I'm gonna have to put it on the list. Maybe I'll look for that one at Heroes Con. I think that was only a couple issue series too. So, but yeah, Cull is my number one pick for movie comic covers. Um, and go out and get them, guys. If like I said, a lot of these I find in the bargain bins. I mean, I could have done some more. Maybe I'll do another one of these because I do have other ones that I could easily do, like Aliens, and I have some more, maybe Return of the Jedi or um, maybe movies from the 90s or something. I mean, that's a fun thing. It's a fun little collecting niche that a side quest, if you will, ding ding, uh, of like a subcategory of comics that you can collect are like movie adaptations or comics based on movies or TV shows. There's a ton of kid comics that are based on kid cartoons out there. So, but that was it for today, guys, for my sorta top 10 comic movie covers. I hope you guys like that. If you guys want to take this challenge, go ahead and do that. Make sure you tag Alan in the challenge so it kind of loops back to him. I actually linked him, and I also linked Nate because Nate inspired me to do this from his last week. So if you haven't checked out Nate's, go do that. And let's see what we got coming up tomorrow. Tomorrow we're doing a live stream over on Nate's channel, Hall Yeah, where we're the FOMO squad's getting together. It's kind of our last time doing a stream before Heroes Con. And I think we're going to do a round robin, just kind of show off some cool books or we'll probably talk about heroes and stuff like that. So join us tomorrow night for that. And then other than that, keep an eye open for all the comic community channels out there because I know a lot of people are going to Heroes Con and we're all going to be covering it somehow, some way, somewhere. I know that we're going to be trying to do these like daily challenges and do some like little quick live streams or stuff on Instagram. So if you're not following on Instagram, make sure you go to Instagram and click some of those follows on a lot of people too, because they may be just doing stuff there, and then when they get home, do all the editing and put it up for Heroes Con. So but that's all I got for you guys tonight. Thanks for coming in tonight. Make sure you hit that thumbs up, subscribe, and comment down below what was your favorite movie comic cover. And that is it today, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and try to find my buttons here. But until next time, guys, happy questing, and we will talk to you next time.